I'm here in Asheville, North Carolina, a very artsy, unique city in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I'm gonna show you the top things to do here. Let's go. Asheville, North Carolina. Why is it so popular? Well, it's a mountain city nestled in the southern Appalachian Mountains. It's known for its many museums, art, gardens, and surrounding nature. So here is my adventure and 16 things to do here when you visit. So one of the first things to do, which is absolutely free here in Asheville, is the Downtown Urban Trail. The Asheville Urban Trail is 1.7 miles, 30 statues total, all with a meaning behind it. It also helps give you a lay of the land. From what I know, all of these statues symbolize something different. They're all very kind of random. Animals, people playing, apples. And on the way of the urban trail is the minor Basilica of St. Lawrence. It has Spanish Renaissance architecture and it was built in 1905. It's the largest freestanding elliptical dome in North America, and it is stunning. Very artsy, neat city so far. Colorful, eclectic mix of architecture. The styles include neoclassical, Art Deco, Gothic, and Spanish Renaissance architecture as well. And of course, you knew this one was coming. Biltmore Estate is a must-see in Asheville. This place, surrounded by the Appalachian Mountains, truly breathtaking. And the inside was just phenomenal. It also has gardens within the 8,000-acre estate as well. However, it is a lot more expensive than all the other places on this list, but if you have the means, I highly recommend a visit. Highly. I love this place so much. I made a full video on it. I'll link to it at the end. Just across the street, open to the public, is the historic Biltmore Village. Also built by Vanderbilt, it was designed with an English country village in mind. It had many shops and restaurants. Heading back in the city, being in the mountains, the fog and clouds here are so neat. There's a few things in this world that I love. All you can eat food and all you can play pinball here at the Pinball Museum. No coins needed, just hit start. There's 35 pinball machines, 35 classic video games.
Yeah! Go! Yeah! Oh yeah!
And after the feed, unlimited play.
A lot of the machines, particularly the older ones, are just on display. For example, the Yacht Club 1953, Superman 1979, the 1971 Challenger, but the most prized pinball machine they had, only on display, the 1934 Army and Navy. This is the one that the owner said if the place catches on fire, he's taking this one out first. And in case you get bored of pinball, all you can play arcade. Old school games, so many from the 80s. 1980 Missile Command. Let's do it. My friend actually used to work here, and it's got to be the coolest mellow mushroom that I've ever seen. But trying to eat healthy, and I have a weakness for pizza. Another good place to go, especially if you want some really good coffee. Rowan Coffee Shop. Drip coffee, my drug of choice. But this coffee shop's pretty cool. Very well decorated, I think. I love the brick. Now I'm awake and ready. In case you don't want to pay money to see some gardens, the absolutely free Asheville Botanical Gardens.
So it's a half-mile loop. Right now they're in a blooming lull, but still a lot of nice greenery here in the Pisgah National Forest. The best time to come here, from what the lady said, is April, where everything blooms very, very well. But you still got some pretty cool stuff. Nice little walk. And another thing that I like, it's relatively quiet for an urban area. Driving back into Asheville downtown.
I'm Kevin. I've been living in Asheville for about 5 years now. The trails around here, I mean, just riding the Appalachian Trail. Something I hear a lot from people who are visiting is just how much green there is. If you go to California or something, it's like one type of green, but here it's just like an infinite amount of green. A lot of really cool local restaurants, a lot of artists, a lot of local vendors.
And speaking of art, Kevin gave me an idea for my next stop, the River Art District. Here were many abandoned mills and factories, along with showcasing their art on the outside of many of these buildings. The extremely high amount of artists in the city that needed cheap rent decided to turn many of these abandoned buildings into art galleries. Not to mention there are also many great restaurants here as well. But keep in mind, most of the art galleries close here around 5. Now going about 2 miles south of downtown, the Asheville Museum of History. Built in 1840, it's the oldest surviving building in Asheville. And I love how they preserve this tree right in front. Let's go inside.
Currently reside in the Smith McDowell House, but today it is going to feature the history, cultural, geographical information of our 23 western counties of North Carolina.
This is way cooler than I expected. All of this is real stuff from late 19th century western North Carolina. While downstairs was my favorite, the main floor had a lot of cool stuff as well. But as I headed back into downtown before my next stop, the next place I highly recommend, especially in the evening time near sunset, is the Omni Park Inn. This place has free admission and open to walk around. Built in 1913, it has a very unique arts and crafts, rustic style architecture. Probably my favorite place here in Asheville. Not gonna lie to you, this is the hidden gem of Asheville. So if you can't afford Biltmore, which the tickets are roughly over $100, come here. Highly recommended. Parking, free for the first hour, $12 for the next 3 hours. And even if you're not staying here, you can eat here as well. Usually the sun sets in that area, but it's taken over by a thunderstorm over there, and then orographic fog over to the left. But they're both still really cool to me. And if you're here on a Friday, every Friday night at 6 o'clock or so and on is a drum circle at Pritchard Park.
So this is the Asheville Drum Circle. I'd like to welcome everybody. As you can see around here, it's all a variety of people, different cultures, different musical talents, different skill levels, but we all play together. There's no practicing. We just show up, listen, and try to follow the beat. It's free and everybody's welcome. If you're out in the area, please come by. I promise you, it'll be the time of your vacation.
Way better than I was expecting. And I love how much fun these drummers are having. It's like you're booked a concert every Friday if you want to play.
2001 we started doing the circle. just a few people, and now it's an Asheville icon. This is a good thing to do with your family. This is my son, Ben.
Day 2. Gonna get some coffee at the next place I recommend is here in the heart of downtown, next to Pritchard Park, the Woolworth Walk Arts Gallery. Some good drip coffee. This place is very special because it was established in 1938, restored in 2001, but it has a fully operational old-fashioned soda fountain built to resemble the original one that was actually right here at the same spot. But on the other side of the soda fountain is a full arts gallery of mostly local artists. I have never been somewhere with so much art. So many artists apparently live here. It's insane. And what I like is all of the art is different and unique in its own way. I will briefly mention this. There is a pretty large amount of homeless people here, especially per capita. They didn't bother me too much, but there were a few instances. But I will say, it wasn't as bad as New Orleans where I was a few months back. I know this next one isn't going to be for everyone. However, if you skateboard or skate, on the cusp of downtown near the Basilica Church is the Asheville Skatepark. But it's actually a lot of fun to watch even if you don't skateboard, and it fits the Asheville vibe. The next place to visit here in Asheville is Lexington Glassworks. Here's a large collection of custom lights and handmade glass. But the best part for free is that you get to watch the artists make the handmade glass using century-old techniques. Really neat to watch. So that oven hole is 2,300 degrees Fahrenheit. Next up is one of the coolest buildings in the city, and also the next place that I recommend, the Grove Arcade. Inside is basically a mini mall, but unfortunately I lost the footage within, which really sucks because inside was a really cool shop called Adora Therapy, where they use some sort of machine that picks up your electromagnetic field with your hand, and apparently it reads your aura. Generally, I'm very skeptical about stuff like this, but to my surprise, when I tried it, I was very pleasantly surprised. So if you come here, you might be interested in something like this. And the last place I recommend to visit here in Asheville, Pack Square Park. Here you'll find many street performers, people chilling out, fountain going. And it's also surrounded by really neat buildings as well. This trip was a lot of fun. I love how it's a city in the midst of the Appalachian Blue Ridge Mountains. 3 takeaways from this trip: art, the gardens, and the museums. I hope this video helped you guys plan a trip here in the city. But in case you're ever gonna take a trip to Charleston, see that video right here. But also if you want to see the entire video of Biltmore, see that video here. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.